Welcome, everybody. We get started shortly, about 2.5 minutes or something there. Yeah, it wasn't up at first. It's up now, though. It should be. Yeah, my bot on Discord is called Trollbot.
What you think about when you're born into a fire? Let them burn it out. Sell them to the richest buyer. They wanna let the world decay. They tell us lies and fade away, fade away.
That's why it says troll. I thought it was funny because everybody always calls me a troll.
Never let the truth fade away. This is bigger than ourselves. We won't let the world burn away, burn away. We feel betrayed. We were raised to lose the race. Wake it to the back of the pack, kill it anyway. To play.
All right, there we go, guys. The timer's done. I feel like I forgot to I did forget it to share it somewhere. Hold on just a second. I was about to say I feel like I forgot to share it somewhere. I did, actually. One more second. I got you guys. Okay. Now I think we're ready, finally. Got an interesting video today I think we'll go over in a minute. Should be shared everywhere. We should be live on Twitch, Rumble, YouTube, and Facebook. We're live on Twitch, Rumble, YouTube, and Facebook. Thank you for joining us. We're going to go ahead and get started. I'll kill this music, and that's where we'll start directly. With our sort of brand new intro. Here we go.
Hey everybody, it's Kim Cuckold here. Listen up. I know I promised my family that I wasn't going to disclose any more of my God dreams. But this very important message came through and I have to tell you guys what's going on. Okay, in my God dreams I was told very clearly that you must subscribe to Cold Beer Confessional. He's on YouTube and Twitch and all of the other ones. I don't know which. There's a lot of them. Subscribe and hit the bell, the notification bell, and hit the likes on it. Now listen, I don't like Cold Beer Confessional. I don't like Will Bird. I think he's an asshole. But you have to, you've got to do what God dictates in the God dreams. I fear the wrath of God, and so does Uncle Tessie. So subscribe to Cold Beer Confessional today. Okay, thanks a lot, guys.
The Power Rangers, Tiger Zord, and the God Dreams, and Hey Guys are all on our side. Thank you guys for joining us. I appreciate it. I do have some words of encouragement from Kim Cuckich. Actually, I don't know if I should share these or not. Let me move this. I didn't even know that was open. I might as well close it. That's fine. I do have some words of encouragement from Kim Cuckich that I thought were pretty interesting, okay? This is a direct post. I'm going to read it word for word from Kim Cuckich. Give me just a second. I'm going to be reading this word for word from her post, okay? We can bring back real Uncle Nico to you, which is like when let's bring Uncle John G. Trump back to. Mark sent that to the Patreon group chat. There is no sentence there. I'm reading it word for word. We can bring back real Uncle Nico to you. No, which is like when let's bring Uncle John G. Trump back to. That is all one sentence with no punctuation whatsoever. I don't know what she was going with here, but it didn't work for her. I'll actually show you the post so you don't think I'm putting any type of my own inflection on it. You read it and tell me what the fuck it means. It's just a bunch of words that she can type. Hold on. Here it is. And I'll even zoom in for you. This is the post. We can bring back real Uncle Nico to you. No, let me turn the screen back on. I'm sorry, I thought it was still on. Main display. I wanted to make it bigger, but I didn't want to. Okay. We can bring back real Uncle Nico to you. No, which is like when let's bring Uncle John G. Trump back to. Back to what? I'm going to need this decoded, I think. By the way, I have a general question that's not specific to anybody in chat. This is not specific to anybody in chat, anybody that exists on the internet, anybody I've ever engaged with or not engaged with. This is a completely hypothetical scenario that I think you guys should answer for me. Now, I'm not going to try to put an answer out on this, but let's say I claimed that I was a high-speed soldier in a branch of the military. I claimed that I had been all over the world. I claimed that I had been to Afghanistan. I had been to Iraq. I had been in combat zones that I can't even tell you about. I had been in, with the Navy SEALs and with the Green Berets and with I know a lot of operators. I used to work with them in the field, not from an office. I used to work with them in the field. Let's say I bragged about that in my military background. And then let's say you found conclusive documents that prove that I have 0 days, 0 weeks, 0 months, and 0 years in service on foreign soil. That would have to mean that I've never even left the U.S. I wonder how you could have all of these high-speed, go-get-em, hard-hitting, tip-of-the-spear, special forces, operators, Navy SEALs, dinner, breakfast, lunch with Bush in Afghanistan, and you've never left the U.S. for not 1 day. It's weird. It's weird. That's a question for you guys. Maybe Kim Kukic can decode it. I know I can't. Thank you guys for joining us. I'm Will Bird. This is Cold Beer Confessional. If you want to support the show, the best thing you can do is like, share, comment, send it to a random person. Don't even send them a message. Just send the link. And just don't even warn them. Okay. It's like hitting them with a surprise sex with a struggle. Some people would call that grape, but I call it a snuggle with a struggle. Just hit them with it. Yeah, give them the old mushroom stamp. Just the link. No warning. Don't tell them who I am. Don't tell them what I'm going to be talking about. Don't tell them what I'm doing. Just find a random person in your phone book, hit share, copy link, and send them a text message with the link and see what happens. Thank you guys for joining us. I appreciate it. That's the best thing absolutely the best thing you can do to support the show is to like, share, and comment. You can comment in the live chat. That's great. You can actually wait till the video's posted. Unless you're on Rumble, you can do it at the same time. But you can wait till the video's posted, and you can come back and comment under the video. On Rumble, I have a lot of you guys going over there to like the comments underneath the video because every night about 15 or so accounts come and downvote all the comments on my Rumble videos for some reason. I guess that's hashtag winning. I'm not sure. But, yeah, leave comments, live chat comments after the video's posted. Share the link out. Like. You can like on every platform but Twitch. Twitch is the only one that doesn't have a like button, but you can share on Twitch. So like and share. If you really want to stay in touch with me, go to the website coldbeer.fund, coldbeer.fund, and just below where it says support the Cold Beer Confessional, see where it says at the top, support the Cold Beer Confessional? Check out these 9 boxes down below where you can follow me on a different platform. That would be great for you and great for me. 1, it builds up my platforms. 2, if I ever disappear, you'll probably know where I went because I'll make announcements on these platforms. And you won't just think I took a week off or I died or my computer broke. I've had that before. We were down for like 4 days one time when I fried a CPU on my old computer before I got this one. Anyways, if you go there, you just click on one of these boxes. That is Twitch, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, Telegram, Facebook, TikTok, Rumble, and Discord. I did update the Discord link. Some people said it wasn't working. This link now has unlimited amounts of joins, and it never expires. It's good for infinity. So unless I go in there and delete it manually, this link should always work. For some reason, Discord links expire after a certain amount of time. I always try to set them up to where they go on forever, but I guess I missed one, and this link had expired after 30 days. But all these links are good. If you happen to click on one, all it does, like say you click on Twitter, all it does is open Twitter, and it's me. And then you can just hit follow, subscribe, whatever you want to do. Please follow me. I will. It's not if I get banned again. I will get banned again. I know I will. I've made this argument 1,000 times. I'm only showing their videos so I can dispute this. And this is clearly laid out in your terms of service. They don't care. You need at least 100,000 subscribers before they start paying any attention to you. I know this because I sent an 800-character rebuttal why I shouldn't be banned, an appeal to my ban, and in less than 2 minutes, they supposedly had read my appeal, rewatched they supposedly had rewatched the content, then read my appeal, then rewatched the content with additional context from my appeal and had made a decision to deny my appeal. They don't give a fuck. So follow me more than one place. I would appreciate that. That way I never disappear. If you want to go above and beyond, you're more than welcome. You can do that at coldtobeer.fund as well. We have multiple links to donate. Most people use Buy Me a Coffee. You can join our Patreon for extra content. Got the skull over here for more donos in case this doesn't work. Buy Me a Coffee, you can also just click in the corner, and you don't even have to leave the website to do it. That's what I just opened right here. Buy a Cold Beer Confessional, a 6-pack. That's what my coffees are. I just noticed the Intel ladies Buy Me a Coffee. Hers is for new wigs, which I thought was very funny. Like, you can buy 1 new wig or 10 new wigs because she wears wigs in her skit or whatever. We also have a new donation link that we are trying out tonight. We have a new donation link that we are trying out tonight. If that's something you're interested in, it's actually, you can donate, same as Buy Me a Coffee, $5 minimum, but you can donate and record an audio or video clip. Now they have to be terms of service safe. You can't just take a picture of your ass or something, and or some corn hub material. They have to be pre-approved, but you can either leave an audio or record a video clip. And I think it'll be fun to have people make me laugh. I think you guys will come up with some funny stuff to use there. You can find that at coldbeer.fund, or if you're watching on Twitch, it's in the donation panel. This is what Buy Me a Coffee looks like. You just leave your name, a donation, how many 6-packs you want to buy at $5 a piece. We sell merch if you're interested. I don't make a whole lot of money off of it, but it's pretty cool. Miss Priss specifically said, please send her the feet videos. Please send her the feet videos, and I'll make sure that she's the moderator who has to review them. So anybody who wants to do a foot video, send that in. And Miss Priss personally, well, I'll make her rank them. Okay, I'll make her put a rank on them from 0 to 10. They have to be your feet. I'm not making her rank some random people's nasty ass feet. I want to see your feet candid. Got it? Anyway, you can buy merch. I don't make a whole lot off of it, but it's pretty cool just to see. It's like being a walking billboard. I think that the biggest margin I have on is coffee cups at $14.95. I just looked the other day, and I think I make $1.18. On the shirts, I'm making like 80 cents. It's crazy. But it's not, the point is not to make a ton of money off of it. That's not my main income source. My main income source is Twitch ads. The point is, hopefully somebody sees your shirt and says, what is that? What is Meat Hammer Militia? What is Cold Beer Condemned, or Cold Beer Confessional, or Cold Beer whatever, or coldbeer.live like I put on the stickers? That's the point. It better be a big donation to make her review the feet. Send where it's. I just explained it. It's a brand new donation link at coldbeer.fund. It's on the screen right here. It says shit post on stream with dono clip. You have to donate to send it though. We're not just doing free feet videos, okay? They have to be paid feet videos. Either way, thank you guys for joining. Sorry we got a late start. I'm going to try to squeeze in a little Patreon show after this, depending on what we get into tonight. I'll let you know if we're going to get there. But yeah, we'll work on that. Someone says Will is trying to reach out to the foot fetish crowd. I don't think you've been here long enough because I already took over and hijacked a Facebook group dedicated to women trying to start cars, old carbureted cars in high heels. So you're so that comment was so 2022. Okay, we're in season 4. We are in season 4 now, and it is season 4 is for vindication. Thank you guys again for joining us. I do have a video that I'm super excited to watch. Again, thank you to Intel Lady. Check her out on YouTube. Go buy her a coffee. Go to buymeacoffee.com/Intel Lady and buy her a new wig. But she's the one who did the intro video we're using now. I got plans for the one that Dr. Banana, PhD, MD, did with Scotty Wadjos for the cameo. I've got plans for that. That's going to be part of a commercial I'm going to put together for when I need to, something's not set up right or something's not working right. I need to like download or whatever, or the audio's busted. I'm going to put a commercial. I need to piss. I'm going to put a commercial in. That's going to be part of it. I'll try to keep up. You're good. I was just making a joke. Thank you. Uncle Teshi. I do have some videos over here that I did want to share. These are just these have nothing to do with grifters, have nothing to do with me really. It's just stuff that I found funny. A couple of videos that I had kind of sent to myself, so we'll check those out. Let's see. See if I can get it open on the main screen right off the bat. Let's see what this one is. Uncle Teshi. Oh, have y'all seen this video? This video right here is wild, dude. Let me explain to you what's happening. This lady, I might even zoom in. This lady is behind some warehouses, okay? She's driving her car. It's raining. She's looking for a candle warehouse or something where she's supposed to be picking up some candles she bought, right? She turns down between two buildings, and then look what happens. Candle supplies. She must be a candle maker. All right, she turns down between two buildings. Then what happens here? She fell into the void. I don't know. I just tore my car up, though. In case you're wondering what's going on, it's hard to tell, but she just drove off an open air loading dock. She just drove. We'll watch it again. She drove off an open air loading dock. So apparently, I looked this up. It had been raining extremely hard, and that dock's drains were closed. So it was filled up with water to the top. Now, we'll look at the dock here in a second. I'll pause it on it when she turns. It looked just like, because it was filled up to water at the top, because there was asphalt beneath it and it looked black, it just looked like wet asphalt. It's like my car's tore. I don't know. My car's tore up, though. It's like the bottom came and the engine knocking like hell. I went right through that. It just looked just like a road, didn't it? Now I'll be. It looks terrible. I don't know what's that smoking. It's probably just steam. Engines are incredibly hot. People don't understand that. Same when you blow a radiator hose and it blows steam like crazy. Engines are incredibly hot. Now, if you've ever laid your arm on an exhaust manifold, when I was young, when I was like in 5th or 6th grade, my dad used to take me to help with maintenance. We've told this story when Dad was on the panel. By the way, shout out to Dad. His birthday was yesterday. We're going out tomorrow to celebrate. I'll probably have a clip from that. But when I was like in 5th or 6th grade, he owned a dump truck, and it was an old beater dump truck. All it did was we have a local rock quarry, not the one I flew the drone at, but a different one that has an asphalt plant inside of it. And the asphalt plant and the quarry are actually two different companies. So there's an asphalt plant right here inside of a big quarry. So he bought an old beater dump truck and put a driver in it while he was at work, working, for a company doing dump truck foreman shit. He put a driver in it, and all the driver had to do was drive to the other side of the quarry, pick up materials, and bring it to the asphalt plant. Well, we used to go and work on it all the time, and he would take me because I was small and agile, could get into places to fucking grease fittings and shit like that. And one day we was up there working. We were putting a transmission cooler on the power steering line. So the driver had complained by the end of the day it was so hard to turn he couldn't hardly do it. But when he first started, it wasn't hard to turn. It's because it was overheating, right? So we put a little transmission cooler and a little fan up there, like a tiny radiator, but on the power steering. We were working on it and doing something. I was grabbing something or greasing something. And of course, I took off so quick out the door after school because I thought it was so cool to help my dad on a freaking dump truck. I didn't change out of my school shoes. I did change my shirt and pants. I just didn't change. I put the same shoes back on because I didn't want to dig out play shoes. And we were sitting there and both looked at each other, and I go, "Do you smell something?" Dad's like, "Yeah, it smells like plastic or something." And I picked up my foot, and I had melted the entire sole off the bottom of my school shoes, standing on the exhaust manifold of a dump truck. Oh. Do you know where the candle supply is, Patty? This woman is a trooper, okay? She just took a journey to the center of the earth. And like someone comes out to make sure she's not dead. And she's like, you know where the candle supply store is? She don't give a shit that she don't give a shit where she just drove to. Are you kidding me? Hell no. Hell no. She wants to know where's that candle supply? That's what I want to know. I want to know where the gold at. Here we go. I zoomed out a little bit so more of it will fit in while still being zoomed in. Here we go. I'll stop it and show you what she drove into. All right, she turns left between these two buildings. And we see this big-ass garage door. That's probably where a forklift goes in and out of. And there. Oh, wait. Let me back it up. Or go forward. Okay. See the concrete here? That concrete is the wall that's level with the ground she's on that the building's built on. There's another strip of concrete here. Now, this right directly in front of her, this black, that looks like just black asphalt. It is not. There's actually a pretty substantial, probably a foot drop, and then the rest of it's filled up with water. That is a ramp coming down to where a truck would pull all the way up here where these trees are at ground level. Their trailer is running downhill in this little ramp to where the back of a DOT, tractor and trailer, which is probably 4 foot off the ground, where 4 foot off the ground is backed up to right there. It'll be the back of that trailer will be even with this, or the floor of that trailer will be even with this concrete. Now, yes, there should be signs. Yes, there should be poles. Yes, there should be some type of barrier, a movable barrier, even if you have to, like when, put a barrier up, and then when you're unloading a truck, you'd have to move it and put up signs. But there's nothing. There is nothing between these two buildings. So when she gets to the end of the concrete, she's dropping 4.5 feet. And it doesn't look at it. It does not look like it. I mean, you can see these triangles on the side that's shadowed, but that just looks like it's shadow from the buildings. It's actually from the concrete, right? The concrete is actually floor level, and you could tell the reason this triangle is bigger down here is because the road actually goes like, here, let's do it. Hold on. I think I can help a little bit with Epic Pen, maybe. EPIC, Epic Pen. and my pen pad. Let's see if I can get it to work. I know there's a download available. So, what do we got? Let's take a pen. Let's take yellow. Okay. Oh, shit. It's on the wrong screen. I can't use Epic Pen. I'm going to have to use the mouse, and it's not going to look nearly as good. So, these triangles here, I'll zoom in a second. When I come down here, and I come down here, that's the bottom of the road, okay? This is all wall down or filled up with water, but this is the road. That's why you kind of can't tell because there's no lines there. These yellow lines are the actual road. This black dark triangle is actually the side of the wall. This black dark triangle is actually the side of the wall. But when you add these lines, now you can tell, the road gets a lot narrower. So obviously there's a drop there, right? It's like parallax looking, when you look like on a straight road, like a painting of the desert where the road turns into a triangle, basically, if it goes far enough. Yeah, it's a reverse ramp. But yeah, she drives right off of it. We'll see that in just a second. Let me close this before it causes my whole computer to crash. And then we're going to keep playing it. You can see where she crashes. As soon as she hits where the concrete ends, she's donezo. And a couple feet of water in there. Oh, that engine's dying. I need the audio on, don't I? Okay. I didn't realize I didn't have the audio on the whole time.
What in the world was that?
No, there's no hump. It's just straight. I don't know if I could do a... Can I do a... Let me try this. Maybe this will help. She's gonna try to find a. I'll find a picture of one. It'll be easier than me drawing it. There's no hump. It's just flat because a forklift has to be able to get to it. It's pretty funny. It's pretty funny, dude. Especially like here you can watch it and listen to it. I didn't realize the audio was off. I'll find a picture.
It's like the bottom came out.
It was, I went right through there. It just looked like a road, didn't it? It looks terrible. I don't know what's
It's
happening.
smoking.
Do you know where the candle supply is?
You know where the candle supply is. You even know where the candle supply is, silly. That's my favorite part. She's a trooper. She does not give up.
I don't know how I got to it. To be honest with
What was that?
What was that?
you. I don't know. I just tore my car up though.
What in the world was that?
I don't know.
It's like the bottom came out.
The bottom came out of my car.
I went right through there.
Mariah all the time comes home with spontaneous, completely not her fault, instantaneous dents and scratches and holes in vehicles. Babe, where did this gigantic fucking dent come from? First time I've seen it. Did you do it? No, I didn't fucking do it. Why would I be asking you? Well, I've never seen it before. It didn't happen while I was driving it. Are you sure? Are you sure? You had to pry part of the door away to open it when you got home. Oh, yeah, I thought it always did that. I had no idea.
It just looked like a road, didn't it? It looks terrible. I don't know what's happening.
It's smoking.
Do you know where the candle
Do you know where the candle supply is? This is where they're at. Okay, see how this concrete floor is even with those boxes? So a forklift, they'll still have to lay a little ramp down here, but a forklift can go across it. She just drove off this wall. See how this one's wet? But the one she drove at is just facing downhill. So the concrete right here and in front of the truck are the same height. And this is a little slot cut in there for the truck, right? That's how they do it. That's how it works. Pretty interesting if you ask me. It seems like it's they're having a lot of fun looking for candle wax. God, that's a good video. That video should be featured somewhere, and like it should be featured in like the best of the best or the best of whatever year, whatever. That's a good video, dude. I sent myself some other ones. If you want any of these links, you can ask me for them in the Telegram. I'll send them to you. But some of these are hilarious. I found some more on TikTok. I don't even remember what they were. I just found these at some point. So bear with me. They might be shit. Who knows? Oh, okay. So let's set up the scenario. We see smoke. We see firework trash. I heard a couple pops in the background. There is a microwave. There is a microwave setting in the middle of the road. See the microwave? This woman just ran away from a microwave setting in the middle of the road. There's fireworks trash. We heard pops. There's smoke everywhere. This is probably not going to end well. This is probably not a good idea. She's running away. I'm going to start it back and zoom in on it so you guys can see. All right, so this is where we start. She's running away from a microwave. Look out, Terry. What are you doing, Terry? Back up, Terry.
Come on, Dick. Oh my God, are you okay?
Oh, man. Oh, damn it. Where did it go? Can I not go back? Fuck, I clicked off of it somehow. It went to the next video. I'm going to open it again because we're going to slow it down and watch it. Hold on. It's so, I know I'm zooming in for you guys, but it's so awkward, this big-ass fucking square on the screen. I can't click on what I want to. All right, here we go. So the microwave explodes, obviously, and leads to the thing coming right at him and hitting him in the back of the microwave, hitting him in the face. After she screams, "Come on, dick," it blows up. And the next thing we see is literally the back of the microwave right there on the corner of the screen, blowing up and hitting the guy right in the face. This is like the, you guys ever seen the video where they shoot the, you ever seen the video where they shoot the refrigerator and the refrigerator door, it's packed full of tannerite. And the refrigerator door goes blasting by the guy who's the shooter, and he's like, "Oh, we were lucky." Oh, man. That is rough. Ooh, got him. Come on, dick. Come on, dick.
Come on, Dick. Oh my God, are you okay?
That is a good video, and I think I've got one more, but I don't remember what it was. So we're kind of playing in the dark here. We'll see. What was that one? That one's the 7R1. Okay, yeah, we got one more then. Oh. This was a funny video. So this is one of the, and I don't know if any of these are real. Okay, I have no idea if any of these are real. But this is one of those that claim that they bust the people that are texting and sexting minors. Okay, we all know there's a lot of channels that do it. I can't verify it. I'm not a fan of the channels. I am sort of a fan of the channels, but I don't think you just get to apologize and you have no punishment. Somehow this ought to be turned over to law. There should be legal action taken as well. I just don't like how they're like, "Oh, say you'll never do it again," and you never see them anymore. But this is one of those channels. There's a clip from it. Now, the guy who shows up thought that he was going to meet a 14-year-old dude, but instead he meets this big-ass black bodybuilder. And you just, it says Tyrone wasn't playing around. Guy comes to see 14-year-old meets big buff Tyrone. And listen to the guy taunting him, saying, "He didn't come to meet no boy. He about to get fucked by a man." It's just funny. Listen.
You gonna come in here to have sex with a 14-year-old boy? No, he came in to have sex with a grown man. Yes, sir. That's what he came here to have sex with. I'm ready.
He came here to have sex with a grown man. Yes, sir. That's what he came for. I'm ready. He came here to have sex with a grown man. It's very funny, the guy taunting him. We'll watch it again. Listen.
You gonna come in here to have sex with a 14-year-old boy? No, he came here to have sex with a grown man. Yes, sir. That's what he came here to have sex with. I'm ready.
Even the guy doing the busting is laughing like hell. It says we need a part 3. Apparently there was more to this. I hope that the person playing the 14-year-old kid said, "Just wait on me somewhere," and this guy showed up in his briefs. That would be hilarious. I'm going to see if I can find some. I'm going to play it one more time in case you missed any of it. Then I'm going to watch this We Need a Part 3. I think it's from the same channel. Yeah.
You gonna come in here to have sex with a 14-year-old boy? No, he came here to have sex with a grown man. Yes, sir. That's what he came here to have sex with. I'm ready.
He came here to have sex with a grown man. Yes, sir. That's what he came here to have sex with. I'm ready. I'm ready. This dude. Look at the guy. He's the guy busting him. Can't stop from laughing. Let's see. It says the beginning.
Then it says I'm 14, but cool. Right there. That's what you just said. It says right here.
The scariest search history on the planet. You don't have to imagine. It's scary as fuck. I could ask somebody to delete it. To if I die, delete my search history, bro. Make one of those packs. But I've got to set some type of automation up. I think just viewing it would probably. Oh my God! Do you guys hear that? Jesus Christ! Let me play a different video and go turn that off. For some reason, my air compressor just kicked on, and I about had a full fucking PTSD meltdown. Let me mute my mic.
Tell them what you do to people like, hold on, do I really get to fuck this guy? Come here. You don't answer that question. You like to fuck until their ass bleed. You down with that? Tell me what you like. I might like it too. Let me see your feet. You look like you got some pretty feet. Take your socks off.
No.
Take your socks off.
No.
I'm gonna take
All
it
right.
off. Knock it off. No, ain't no nice to me shit. I'm ready to bend that ass. So do I get to fuck this guy or what? Can't do that right now. Man, that's some bullshit, man. I came all the way over here to get some ass. You do. Tell them what you do to people like, hold on, do I really get to fuck this guy? Come here. You don't answer that question. You like to fuck until their ass bleed. You down with that? You do. Tell them what you do to people like, hold on, do I really get to fuck this guy? Come here. You don't answer that question. You like to fuck until their ass bleed. You down with that? Tell me what you like. I might like it too. Let me see your feet.
Get fucked till your ass bleed. Jesus.
You look like you got some pretty feet. Take your socks off.
You get- To be fair, I would probably do this if I was at. Take your socks off. You got some pretty feet. I'm gonna post some pictures on my Instagram. Is that okay with you?
No.
Take your socks off.
No.
I'm gonna take it
All
off.
right.
Knock it off. No, ain't no nice to me.
This looks fake as hell, but it's funny.
You gonna come in here and have sex with a 14-year-old boy? You do. Tell them what you do to people like, hold on, do I really get to fuck this guy? Come here. You know,
Hold on, partner. I get to fuck this guy.
you like to fuck until their ass bleed. You down with that? Tell me what you like. I might
Oh, Tyrone D in chat. Thank you for joining us, Tyrone.
take your socks off.
Take your socks off.
Knock it off. No, ain't no nice to me shit. I'm ready to bend that ass. So do I get to fuck this guy or what? Can't do that right now. Man, that's some bullshit, man. I came all the way over here to get some ass. You know.
I came all the way over here to get some action.
This is I'm 14, but cool. Right there.
That's what you just said.
It says right here. It says it right there.
Sometimes the app doesn't come.
Sometimes that does. Get your hands off your mouth. What's wrong with you?
He's crying.
Get your hands off your mouth.
Is this real? The person says yes, but who knows? This guy gets caught and runs away. Oh, he got caught getting recorded. He looked right at the camera. Look at this.
What's going on here? You know what's going on here? You playing stupid with me right now? Sit down. Your hands out your pockets. No more purpose in. Up here in the air, like a real man. You mind turning around now? You mind turning around? Why? Because I need to make sure you don't have any weapons on you. Do me a favor, turn around.
So this guy's just listening to him for no reason. This guy's just a fucking is just a civilian. Like he even says you mind turning around. You didn't even have to tell him. They're claiming they busted these people that were trying to hook up with underage people online. It's hard to tell if any of these are real. You know what I'm saying?
Go get his plates. Go get his plates. Go get his plates.
So he ran. They can't. So if you tried to stop him from running and hold him in the house, you could get charged with kidnapping, basically keeping someone from leaving. Yeah, they don't know their laws and orders. You should have got Derek on here. So all they could do was take a picture of his license plate. It's hard to tell if any of them. What's up, Dreamweather? It's hard to tell if any of them's real. We now refer to ourselves as the CBCs. You can just say, "What's up, CBCs?" Or "What's up CBC hags?" Like how they got a guy topless doing push-ups. That's why I think a lot of this is fake. Like how they got a guy doing fucking push-ups without his shirt on. Like, how did they get in this situation?
19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. Come on.
He's
Don't
shaking right
shake.
now.
Keep going. You stop.
No, it's CB and then C like the ocean hags. I'm going to change my name to, it'd be spelled C, Charlie, Bravo, Sierra, Echo, Alpha, Romeo, Sierra. CBSEAS hags.
You die. Come on.
You just stop. Hell.
Up. 5. Speed it up. 1,
That's right.
7, 8.
CBCs. Like, how'd they get a guy to do apparently they always run the big black guy out on them, I guess.
Talking about rimming.
Rimming. Talking about rimming. Some of these are obviously legit. Some of them even make like national headlines and papers and shit, like especially when they work for like a well-known company like Facebook or something. The problem is the cops can't use it, right? Because they can't be sure that you didn't break any laws when gathering this information. You could call and report them, but they can't charge anybody. They can make a note. That's about it. But they can't even prove it's valid. They can't use it in their investigation. So instead, they just make them promise not to do it anymore. And if they leave, they tell them, well, if you leave, I'm going to call the cops. But if you talk to me for a minute, I won't. CBC the door.
You got some big feet? Let me see your feet, goddamn. Hurry up. If you don't.
Like, there's no way they got this guy to strip down naked. That's crazy. I'm from Georgia, where are you the person who went to visit her, Tyrone? She didn't want to say it, but it sounded like she was strongly inferring the person was a black. I think she calls those people how does she refer to them? I'm not going to say the one she uses most often with her white friends, but when she's with people she doesn't know well, I think she calls them coloreds.
Show me right now. Show me.
Yeah, I'm already convinced this is fake. Okay. Either way, that one video was very funny, especially when he's like, "You got some pretty feet." I'm ready. Let's go. I'm ready. You came here to get fucked by a man. Very funny videos out there. You want to see my new favorite video I just found? My new favorite Phil video I just found. I wonder if Phil is deleting his old chat because he just realized that about a week and a half ago, I downloaded it in its entirety. Huh. Weird. You guys want to check in on the Sea Hag? I don't know if we have to cast like a summoning spell or how we get her to show up, to be honest with you, but we'll try. Let me see. Somebody pull out, some ingredients for a protection brew so she can't invade our minds, and then let's go and see what she's been posting lately. Please tell me you got some voice chats on here. All right, so last time we left off, she claimed the deputies got him to tell all about how he knew about me and where to find me. And I know others who have been harassed, threatened, all for being truthful. She says all military exercises are governed by scenarios. When other side counters an equal positive reaction. There have been many mass casualty events that would have been devastating. That message was governed by one. Needless loss of life was avoided, so I'll take the message encrypted and read by someone they trust. Because someone has said true, then why say Trump would do the announcement if not true? Just adds confusion and removes credibility from whoever said it. I know my word holds no weight, but here is God's word, Matthew 5:3 ESV. Let what you say be simply yes or no. Anything more than this comes from evil. Matthew 5:37 King James Version. But let your communication be yea, nay, nay. For whatsoever is more than those cometh of evil. Yes, we were told it would be probably come from a military general. DJT must remain in the background and appear neutral for now. Okay, they're talking about Phil's announcement. Because he first said it was a Trump announcement. Then he said it was made to be read by a general or some shit. So she's defending that. First of all, she says all military exercises are governed by scenarios, I guess. Wouldn't all fucking exercises have a scenario to them. Like if you're running any type of simulation exercise, it has a scenario to it. That's what makes it an exercise. And then she says, when other side counters an equal positive reaction, well, that's not true. That has nothing to. Why wouldn't you meet them with an overwhelming reaction to devastate them if possible? Oh no, we're just going to do just as bad as they did good, or just as good as they did bad. What? There would have been many mass casualty events that would have been devastating. The message was governed by one. Needless loss of life was avoided, so I'll take the message encrypted and read by someone they trust. Sure we will. Someone says, I think we have the ending here staring at us. Turkey wants to leave NATO and join BRICS, and they will. Saudi are the ones who will trigger the collapse of the U.S. dollar. Mohammed bin Mohammed bin Salman has flipped on his family. They were all taken down in 2017 and 2018 after they were involved in the Las Vegas mass casualty event. Think sites Wahhabi were a creation of the Ashkenazi Khazars. They worked for the Queen of England. What? It's all the Jews, of course, but what was all that leading up to it? So BRICS is not an alternative. BRICS is not an alternative to NATO. Like you could be in one fucking economic agreement and still in a different military pact. I don't know why those two were even compared. They're going to leave NATO and join BRICS. That's like saying I'm never going to shop at Walmart again, and instead I'm going to fly American Airlines. Like those do different things. Those do different things. Those one sells a bunch of bullshit and one flies a plane. Idiots. And then they go on to say that the rest of it was caused by the Ashkenazi and Khazars. I don't know why you put Khazarian in chat and misspelled it. They worked for the Queen of England. Sure they did. He shares a Q post that says, see what this post says. It says, thank SA next. By the way, this is from 2018, April of 2018. Thank SA. Order is important. SA, arrow, NK. NK, arrow, Armenia. Armenia, arrow, Iran. Iran, arrow, and then there's nothing there. But they filled in Russia, etc. to take Israel. Any other rogue nuclear states? Define hostage. Define protection. Who is protected by rogue nuclear states? Trust the plan. The world is connected. Why are border states like Arizona and California important? Why is MX vocal against POTUS? Those who are the loudest, where we go one, we go all, the Great Awakening, Iron Eagle Q. That's what this person was responding to. Now, Kathy H. responded to them and said, what did she say about it? The fiat and petrodollars need to zero out to regain the world economy stability. So for the world economy to be stable, she claims that the US dollar and the petrodollar need to go to zero. That is absolutely not stability. If the US dollar goes to zero, do you not understand what's going to happen to everyone else's economy? I wish these people could just understand basic fucking action, reaction, causation, and cause. Like, anyways, remember that sword ceremony, the SA sword ceremony? Who was involved? The Crown Prince and POTUS. We are all ready. Better buckle up. the sword dance is the craziest lie they've ever made about Saudi Arabia. You can literally go back and watch George Bush do it. You could go back and watch fucking Obama do it. You could go back and watch all kinds of fucking people hang out and dance with a stupid sword. It's a tradition they do. All of their visitors, Hillary Clinton has done it. It's time to stop with that, okay? Oh, man. There you go. The sword dance. Buckle up. Someone says, I posted this video this morning. But people need to see this. It's insanely eye-opening. Now, this is a Tory Says video, so I already could tell it's bullshit.
They don't want you to know how important the cargo is to them. They're willing for you to go into conspiracy routes of killing their fish and tainting your water, which indeed seems like the case. But it's because they're hiding more. Because if indeed it is what I believe it is, which are components of fentanyl, because one thing people don't tell you is that fentanyl is a
oh my God,
drug to ensure the viability of human organs. And here's the fun fact. Fentanyl, when you die and overdose from it, guess what? Your chances of becoming an organ donor have exponentially increased. Most organ donors in America last year were from fentanyl overdoses. And you know what?
I don't think that's true. Hold on. I don't think that's true at all. I don't think that's true at all.
Else is funny. In China.
So I read a paper. Okay, I see a paper from 2019, and it says the increase in incidences of overdose-related deaths, specifically from fentanyl. Now that we have fentanyl, we didn't used to have it, but it's obviously becoming an epidemic because it's so fucking powerful. And it says the increase in incidents of overdose-related deaths, specifically from fentanyl, has resulted in more organ donations. Okay, I can believe that. If more people are dying of anything, obviously if 10% of all people are organ donors, got it. This is the New England Journal of Medicine, but I very seriously doubt that the majority of organ donors were fentanyl overdoses.
Fentanyl is used on prisoners whom they harvest organs from. So you have to ask yourself, is this just a drug? Or are we actually actively importing this via our railways? Because if it is, we're seeing a spike in it. Massachusetts already introduced legislation to offer to prisoners a reduced or even canceled sentence if they decide to donate an organ. And there are many more states that are following suit. I think California should be paying attention.
Okay, so Tory says that they're giving us fentanyl so they can steal all our organs, of course. A study published, but not yet reviewed, in the journal Annals of Internal Medicine on Monday now reveals that just how much an increase there have been in the number of overdose death donors, from being 1.1 to 13%. The study suggests that a rise in organ donation from drug overdose could help American organ shortage, but it also shows that between 2000 and 2017, many organs from overdose donors were not even used at all when they could have been. The current epidemic of deaths from overdose is a tragedy. It would also be tragic to continue to underutilize life-saving transplant from donors. We have an obligation to optimize the use of all organs donated. The donors' families, patients, and waiting deserve the best from every gift of life we can. Durand added that there are no regulations specifically pertaining to transplanting organs from an overdose death that could limit those organs from being used, but there are regulations related to donors at increased risk for transmitting certain viruses through organ transplant. In our study, 56% of overdose death donors were labeled as increased risk infectious donors. Of course, they're probably needle junkies. These donors require specialized testing in HIV and hepatitis as well. Imagine getting a kidney when you could have waited on the transplant list and possibly survived, another years. Imagine rushing it, getting a kidney from someone who hasn't been thoroughly tested, and then you get the kidney, but you're also fucking HIV positive. HIV and hepatitis, as well as specialized consent for transplant recipient. There's a stigma related to this increased infectious label. In reality, the increased risk of HIV, hepatitis in these donors are very low. As of Monday afternoon, about 114,000 people in the United States were in need of a life-saving organ transplant. But between January and March, there were only 4,000 organ donors, according to the Federal Organ Procurement and Transplantation Network. Those numbers reveal a huge gap between supply and demand. For people waiting on organ transplant right now, I would like to think that our studies bring them hope. I also don't want to lose sight of the people who made these transplants possible, the donors and their families, she said. In the time of greatest tragedy, these people made the powerful decision to save lives of people waiting on a transplant. That means they are generous, compassionate people. They are people that I admire. They are people who make organ donation and transplantations possible, even if they just did lose a loved one to drug overdose. So this is largely because fentanyl is killing more people. If for some reason suddenly car wrecks went up by 60%, well, then a lot of donors would be coming from car wrecks. Like, it's not that big a deal. The families deciding to donate these organs. It's not the government overdosing us, then just taking our organs. That's not happening. I hate to burst your bubble. Anyway, someone posted that, and then Kathy H. responds to it. And she says, another rabbit hole. It shows an upside down smiley face, then praying hands. She also speaks about Truth Social, and she says that someone says Phil posted test on his Truth Social. She says Truth Social needs some admins. The garbage on there is unbelievable. She shares a video forward of the international sign for Help Me. The international sign for Help Me, which is apparently closing your fist your fingers over your thumb in the fist. I don't even know if that's true, but that's what she's saying. I'm looking it up right now. That is our resident sea hag. Statements performed by folding your hand up with your thumb tucked in towards your palms and folding your fingers down, symbolic of trapping your thumb in your fingers. It was internationally designated as a single continuous hand movement rather than a sign held in one position that could be made easily visible. Okay. She shares that video. I don't know for what reason, but she shares it. And then it says, a fake video of a guy who, this is like a fake hidden cam video. Actually, I think it was set up to see how people would react, of a guy trying to help a little girl. Yeah, this is all dumb. It's like the news is the sheriff talking about it. She says, Kathy H. says, an announcement page with major intel. The link is on the new page. There's an announcement page with major intel. That's that Q page we saw last night where Phil's building a brand new page. He said he was going live, but he would only be on that one weird page, IMQ or whatever. She says, someone said, I think that announcement page is fake. She says, I'm at a county meeting. Tag me if you hear anything, please. Oh, my God. Intel at 8 p.m.? Question mark. Phil hopped on his chat and says, yay, spelled with two Y's. Y-A-Y-Y. And she responds, Intel at 8 p.m.? The brand new chat is a buzzing. Knowing what I do, it's a false flag. Don't get in a pucker. So it says, sounds like Soros is endorsing DeSantis.
My hope for 2024 is that Trump and Governor DeSantis...
Exactly. Predators would know it immediately. So the video she shares is like a hidden camera, okay, there's a girl that's like crying in the back of a car, and she does this hand signal. The guy might not even know the fucking hand signal, but she does it, and she's crying in the back of a car trying to like wave him down. He's riding a bicycle. He goes by the car, and he looks and says, are you all right? When he says, are you all right, the guy in the driver's seat starts screaming at her, like, don't do that. But roll your window up. Don't talk to people. And she's like crying. So the guy's like, shut up. He opens the door and he's like, come on, we're going to figure this out. Like, but it was like, then they're like, okay, there's cameras over here and there's cameras over there. Good job. You rescued a little girl that we set up.
Florida will slug it out for the Republican nomination. Trump has turned into a pitiful figure, continually bemoaning his loss in 2020. Big Republican donors are abandoning him in droves.
Republican big donors?
Shrewd, ruthless.
So I've heard from a couple different, I'm going to say sources, but it's not like intel sources. It's like apparently people in the know with like big Republicans, big Republican donors, big Republican PACs. There seems to be the feeling that Trump has went too far and can't win another election as president. And donors do not donate to candidates they think that will lose. They're typically donating for a fucking favor. Whether you like it or not, they think I'll donate to you and you can help me. And it does seem like Republicans are backing off, big Republican donors. He's still got huge grassroots support. But big donors seem to be backing off of Trump and his campaign.
And ambitious. He's like the
He does, Miss Priss. You're right.
Republican candidate.
Okay, so breaking news, George Soros doesn't like Trump. Got it. And then Kathy H. shares this. What is this she shared with us? Oh, God.
For being with us today once again.
God damn, that audio's blown out.
People we have here. The reason we're successful here is we work together.
Thank you for fixing it. It's only in the left-hand channel.
Our Operation Traffic Stop ended up with 213 arrests. But let me introduce some folks to you before we begin.
This is the last thing she shared was this. It's Sheriff Grady.
Also with Captain Ty Thompson. The Auburndale Police Department, we have Chief Terry Story. Haines City Police Department, we have Deputy Chief Jay Hopwood. The Bartow Police Department, we have Chief Brian Dorman. Winter Haven Police Department, we have Captain Don Nunnery. Lake Wells Police Department, we have Lieutenant Mike Smith. Devonport Police Department, we have Chief Steve Parker.
I want to see what the bust was. They usually do this on Super Bowl weekend.
Dr. Mary Sail of Freedom, and also DCF from the state of Florida.
I just want to see the results, then we'll move on.
They were there every day of the operation.
This is always good. Sheriff Grady's a radical at times, but he seems like a good guy, wants to keep his people safe.
We are.
Sometimes I don't think he goes too far because he's not politically correct. Sometimes I think he goes too far because saying the things he said, whether they're politically correct or not, I don't care. It's almost like taunting criminals to try it, or taunting people, which could actually make more people commit a crime just to say they fucking did it in your county and fuck you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think there's a fine line to walk between daring them to come do it and being politically correct. I could care less about. I'm not politically correct. I cuss and say weird, fucked up things.
Human trafficking operation.
But he's a good guy. I still support him. I'm just saying that's my one pet peeve with him.
Those that are forced to participate, those that are made to participate, those that are, in addition to the human trafficking arrest, the prostitution arrest, we had drugs, we had guns, we had prostitution, we had...
He has no chance.
Spectrum of criminal charges, we had those. 111 were prostitutes, 89 were Johns.
That's what it seems like, Jessa. Big donors in DeSantis. Here we go.
We had those. 111 were prostitutes, 89 were Johns. There were
111 prostitutes, 89 Johns.
We had Johns. Across the human trafficking arrest, the prostitution arrest, we had drugs, we had guns, we had prostitution, we had Johns. Across the spectrum of criminal charges, we had those. 111 were prostitutes, 89 were Johns. There were 24 victims that I want to show you.
So they had exactly 200. That's weird. It comes out to exactly a round number, right? 111 plus what did he say? 89. Yeah, that's strange, but
here that we suspect are victims of human trafficking. That's why they're blanked out. Now we suspect this, and all of these are being counseled with at this.
Wait a second. Why even show the victims if? Okay.
What I'm excited to announce to you today, this is the most we've identified at the initial stage of the investigation or operation.
Good deal.
The human trafficking victim is a very difficult victim to work with because they're scared. They're certainly more scared of the pimp, of their trafficker, than they are of law enforcement. But this time, these ladies and their team of counselors did and continue to do remarkable work. They'll talk more about that later. But if you
So they busted 89 Johns and 111 prostitutes, and found out that 24 people were being human trafficked. It looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 male, and then that makes the other 18 a female. Good job for that. That's all I wanted to hear. All right, Kathy H has been kind of quiet, but while we're on the subject of Kathy H, we all know who she supports, and that's why I decided before we go to Patreon, which we're going to do at midnight, we're going to watch a little Frog News Network. Rip Doug. And watch a little Frog News Network here. And you wouldn't believe who they have on as a guest.
Last name is Godleski.
Okay, thank you very much. Can you introduce yourself to our audience, please?
Yeah, so my name's Phil.
If you want to see the Patreon show tonight, you can join patreon.com patreon.com/coldbeer for those $2 a month. We're going to hang out for about an hour or so, talk about a few things. It'll be after this show at midnight is when we're going to switch over, and I'll probably do about an hour or so.
For several months leading up to the election, a strong Trump supporter. Just to put all the truth on the table, I was a lifelong Democrat for many, many years.
Oh, wow, a lifelong Democrat.
Until Hillary ran. Yeah, I know. Until Hillary ran, and then when she ran, that just changed everything for me. Benghazi changed everything for me. I started following Q very early on.
When was this interview? A long time ago. Or the sheriff? Are you talking about this one or Sheriff Grady?
An Anon back in 2017. I was one of the first followers of Q, actually. And
okay, there we go. So he says, I became an Anon back in 2017. I was one of the first followers of QAnon. One of the first ones. The first followers of Q. He won't say QAnon together. He became an Anon in 2017. He's one of the first followers of Q.
Ever since then, I've been, really looking into
August 14th, 2021.
All the global pedophilia and, everything that's been surrounding. And
this is just after he got out of jail.
And everything else. And I think you guys got introduced to me maybe the first time last night when it came to the PCAPs.
Right. Didn't he go to jail in July of 2021? Or was it? It wasn't 2022, was it? It was July of 2021. Hell, I can't remember. What year is this?
And it seems like the video that I uploaded to Rumble last night has just gotten in front of everybody's eyes, and it's starting to really wake everybody up in terms of what really happened at that symposium.
This is the reason he got this interview was the cyber symposium stuff he did, where he struggled to explain PCAPs, where he struggled to explain how the internet works. Where he struggled to explain basically everything that he was claiming that he needed to explain. July of 2021. Okay, this is just after he got out of jail.
The real goal was what it was supposed to be, and people are actually starting to say, "Oh, wow, this is what it was about. It wasn't what we were told it was supposed to be about. It's about something completely different." So I'm glad to help out you guys.
His whole spin on it was Lindell says he has the packets. He didn't have the packets. It was all just a setup to catch the deep state. But it's that's ridiculous and dumb. The guy who claims that helped Lindell hack all this stuff from Chinese servers and this, that, and the other is actually a known grifter. And this is not the first time he's claimed something like this. Last time he faked a heart attack to get out of showing up with the information. This time he just called and said he couldn't make it. He was sick. The biggest fucking day of the year. They've been planning this thing for like 8 months. And the guy who claims to have all the information from hacking into Chinese satellites and shit calls in and says, I'm not going to be able to make it. I'm not bringing the information. So they're just like, oh, well, he didn't bring it, but here you go.
It seemed like you're at the a point that I was at, several months ago with your viewership and everything else. And if I could come on your show to turn on some of my followers to you guys, I'd be happy to do that, and vice versa. It's not about
and vice versa.
Followers or who has the most subscribers or anything like that. To me, it's always been about getting the truth to the most amount of people possible. And if I could help you guys do that, I'm more than happy to do so.
We appreciate it tremendously. So last night I started watching your video, and we were at the cyber event, and we were understanding as much as we can for two rednecks anyway. And we got a little lost, but Mike kept saying, I got this big thing coming. I got this big thing coming at 7 o'clock, and all of a sudden, something else happened, and he bring these people out. And I never thought maybe that was just planned, but he said he had the packets. He was going to release them.
Will, I sent you a link to a news report on Phil today. What's the question?
Cardiac event, that didn't happen. And then things just got a little confusing after that. And that's when I ran into your video.
Oh yeah, so we just telling you again, we do have a brand new donation link. It has to be approved, but you can do audio or video clips. It works. I guess I should have done this earlier. It works kind of like this. So I just recorded some tests. So once it's approved, I can see it's approved, and just like when you guys do the Twitch notifications, and I play them like this.
One Truman just resubscribed for 8 months.
1D Truman, thank you very much. Woohoo. And then Cassie22008 resubscribed for 3 months.
Subscribed for 3 months.
But if you send the audio or video clip, you would click on this shit post on stream with dono clip, and then it'll open something like this if you want to do audio or video. It's the same as buy me a coffee. It's $5, but it'll send me the link, and then I can do this. I think this was just a test where I click on it and then hit play on stream and test. There you go. Donation. So now you can, I think it's up to like 10 seconds, which doesn't sound long, but it is a long time when you're recording yourself. Tell me a joke, make me laugh. That's what we're going for at first. That's all at donoclip.com/coldbeerconfessional, donoclip.com, or click this link on coldbeer.fund, or if you're on Twitch, it's in the donation panels down below.
And if you can kind of like fill us in from there, that would be awesome.
Yeah, so
let me remind somebody, in 5 minutes, we're going to be cutting the YouTube channel. In 5 minutes, we're going to be going to Only Rumble. So Superfoods is over here putting their link on. Make sure y'all go to Rumble and follow us.
Oh, man. You guys remember Superfoods? You guys remember Superfoods?
On Phil's channel. If have you said, did you get that up, Doug?
No, I didn't get that up yet. I'm just going to cut the feed to YouTube now. That way we won't have any issues. Phil, you know how it is. Anything over there. Anymore, you just mentioned somebody's name like we did, and we might be thrown off for that. So let me remove this from here. Give me just 1 second. That cut the feed, I'm pretty sure. We're off. Okay. Go ahead, Phil. Sorry about that.
All right, so I agree with what you're doing on YouTube, by the way. I just recently got the platform from YouTube last week because I was sharing stuff about the Cyber Symposium. They said it was misinformation, which there was really nothing misinformation about it. So you're doing the right thing with YouTube. You're escaping their algorithm, which is a really good thing. But anyway, regarding the PCAPs and regarding Mike Lindell, if you go back to many months ago, way back into the beginning of the year, March, April, May, Lindell has been saying for 5-6 months now that he's had all these packet captures. And just to...
Packet captures. Where does the question come to join Telegram? You apply to join Telegram. When you do, one of the moderators will just send you a message. Just look at your messages. Have you ever received a message on Telegram? So on Telegram, your Telegram just has all the channels you're in, and one of them will be a message from one of my moderators.
Give everybody a quick layman's term explanation.
It should be super hard to find, hopefully.
You have to kind of think of a packet capture as a digital photograph of data. That's the best way to describe it. But this digital photograph that you get, which is called a packet capture, it's not alterable. It's not editable. What you get is what you get. It came out of a data source. You snap.
So it's not that's the worst probably explanation of it. A packet capture would have information to like analyze networks, analyze traffic on those networks, and identify how well the network's doing. You could use it to analyze performance and shit like that. But it's not just like the data that's sent. Instead, it's who and from. It's about we're sending so many packets here and these packets here, and these packets contain X, but we can tell where they went to. Phil doesn't know anything about technology. He just makes it up, of course.
Snap the photo of it basically, and now you have a capture. It's kind of like taking a screen capture, except you can't edit it.
No, when Mike Penny left, Bonafide joined
Photoshop or
full time.
So in the cyber community, the term packet capture, the term PCAP, is a very common, commonly thrown around term. So when Lindell was saying that I have all these packet captures, I have all these PCAPs, and they're directly from the election, that raised a lot of eyebrows. That made a lot of people go, well, wait a minute. If you have packet captures, which are not, editable in any way, and they're from the election, that's going to show the exact results of the election. And Lindell not only said that he had them, but he took it one step further. He said, you know what? I'm so confident in the authenticity of these packet captures. I'm so confident that these are from the 2020 general election that I'm going to offer anyone in the world, doesn't matter your expertise, the highest level or the lowest level, you come to the Cyber Symposium in August, and I challenge you to disprove the authenticity of these packet captures. And if you can't do that, and I can prove that they are from the election.
Where did you send it, Bob? Did you email it to me? Did you send it on Facebook? Did you send it on Telegram? I just need more information to see if I've got it.
Then these results are accurate. So he not only invited everybody, but he offered everybody $5 million to disprove the authenticity. Then we get to day one of the Cyber Symposium, And suddenly, he says that, 7 o'clock, 7 p.m., I'm going to have this major announcement. So he gets everybody focused there. All the cyber attacks start coming in. All the hacking starts coming in. They try to get what he's getting. They try to disrupt it. And then suddenly, there's no packet captures.
They never were there. The guy, I don't think the guy ever had them. I think, again, he led people on to believe that he had some content that he didn't have. And then when it come time to lay out this content, they were done. That was it. There was no more. It didn't exist. The guy called in sick. Then I heard Lindell got in a pillow fight in the elevator or some shit.
Suddenly, the Mesa County, Colorado clerk comes out with her team saying that where did Colorado come from? We're talking about Maricopa, Arizona. We're talking about Fulton County. And where's the packet captures? And then later in the day, on day 2, Colonel Waldron comes in and says, well, we did have some data that we gave the red team at the symposium, but the packet captures, if we had them, and that was the interesting term, if we had the packet captures, they would be able to tie China to the election hacking. Wait a minute. The whole symposium was about packet captures. You offered $5 million to people. Now you're not showing them. This entire symposium was one big sting.
Yeah, and people were pissed about that. People were pissed about the $5 million prize. People came there to disprove where they came from, and there was no data, so they just withdrew the prize.
It was a sting operation from the very beginning. They wanted all those hackers to try to get into the symposium. They let them in. They walked them in the front door. And that red team that was in place that Phil Waldron was the head of, that had nothing to do with proving the authenticity of packet captures. That red team of cyber experts from around the world that were there for the $5 million award, their goal, their mission at the cyber symposium was to hack the hackers, was to reverse engineer the
hackers. That was their mission.
Where they're from, who's funding them. It's just one big giant play to continue the narrative of draining the swamp. And that is something that Trump's...
1 second,
Yep,
Phil.
go ahead.
I need to remind y'all something. We are on 99.9 radio live. Pastor just sent me a text message.
You need to turn your speakers down.
That ain't my speakers, they're off.
Okay.
All right, I can't hear anything now.
You got a pair of headphones?
Did you hear what I said?
Oh, you need to turn your speakers down. That ain't my speakers, they're off. Okay, I can't hear anything now. Did you hear what I said? I miss Doug, dude. I miss Doug. Hopefully big guy's up there in heaven trying to figure out how to pronounce biblicky.
I don't have a headset.
We gonna get you one.
Anyway, we are on WUCC 99.9 radio live right now. Phil, just to let you know, a Christian radio station here in Aiken, South Carolina.
Cool.
All right, continue on, sir. Sorry for the interruption.
Yeah, so that's, everybody really went into the cyber symposium. First of all, the cyber symposium was very confusing to the average person anyway, because there's a lot of terminology being given at the symposium, and to the common person that isn't, really used to using that terminology or used to even the definitional terms that were being used.
Yeah, the message won't be for me. I can't. There's no way I could go through all of them. So one of my moderators will send it under their name. Before the update, before the latest, or not the latest, but the update before last on Telegram, it would say you got a message, and if you open it at the top, it would say my moderator's name, and it would say an admin for this chat, and it doesn't do that anymore.
Used at the cyber symposium. It's just a really confusing event. So that's kind of what led me to do the PCAP live that I did last night on DLive, and then upload it to Rumble. And I think a lot more people have a better understanding of what it was supposed to be about last night versus what it turned into. And then when you start tying in the relation of Ezra Cohen to the D class, there's still a question of where did Mike Lindell get the results that he put on the board last night, or during the symposium rather, when he put up all the vote totals from Pennsylvania, from California to New York. He literally put up every single state onto his presentation. And the question is, if that data didn't come from the PCAPs and that data is accurate, where did those numbers come from? And there was no
So you just said if that data did come from this and it was accurate, well, we don't know that it came from that because they don't exist. There was a claim that they were going to prove that it existed and that it was accurate and that it hadn't been tampered with, and they were going to prove where it came from, a chain of custody, and they didn't do either. So if, like, who gives a fuck? If Donald Trump received 172 million votes, and if they recounted them all hand by hand live on national TV for 118 days, and if all that turned out to be real, then he'd be president. Okay, but if what?
Explanation to that. But I actually reported back in November, right after the election, that Donald Trump and a team of military intelligence professionals were actually watching.
By the way, YouTube, we don't believe any of this. We're only showing to dispute it. He's fixing to say that they were watching something that happened with election integrity. I do not believe that. I don't believe any of this. I side with your official terms of service that everything was kosher.
All of this fraud happened in real time. Several days later, after the election, they actually conducted a raid in Frankfurt, Germany on the Dominion servers. And then the Dominion servers revealed all the data. So the intel that I'm being given says that the numbers that Lindell had on his screen in terms of the state-to-state fraud that was revealed to, the Cyber Symposium were the exact numbers. And this is the first time that Lindell revealed them. They were the exact numbers that were taken from the Frankfurt, Germany raid back in November.
By the way, the Frankfurt, Germany raid has been fucking debunked by everybody. There was no server raid in Germany.
And the reason for the symposium was threefold. Number one, they wanted to show Dominion, hey, Dominion, we actually do have the real numbers. All this stuff that we've been saying we had and all the movies that we released, all those other numbers, they were always inaccurate. We wanted you to know they were inaccurate. But now, here's the real numbers, and you should be worried. That was goal number one. Goal number two was to get all these cyber hackers that either worked for Dominion or worked for the rhinos within our government or worked for the deep state or whoever it worked for, was to get them to try to hack into this cyber symposium. And after they did so, reverse the hack on them and see where they're coming from and so forth. And I think the third goal of the symposium was to get all of these representatives from all 50 states. We had 50 states worth of senators and congressmen and secretaries of state and everything from every single.
Oh, man.
We had at least one representative from every single state. The people that are in those positions, I said this in my live last night, they're not like us. They're not like, the people that watch the Truth Movement on Telegram or on Rumble or whatever. They watch the mainstream media. They're interviewed on a daily basis by the mainstream media. And this symposium was meant to get them all together, show them a lot of the evidence that there is of election fraud, and in addition to showing them the evidence, get them to start collaborating with each other to go back to their states and say, hey, you're not going to believe what I saw out there. Look at what I saw. Now, were these representatives given some form of intel, some sort of proof as to why the numbers are what they are? Possibly. It's very possible that they were given that. Or maybe it was just meant to get them together to collaborate. In any event, those were the three main goals of that cyber symposium. It had
that makes sense. Collaboration.
Reward, and it certainly had nothing to do with, anything except catching them in one big giant sting operation.
I would agree 110%. After you explained that, I was like
110 even.
A little bit about who Trump appointed before he went out of office as far as Department of Defense and the people that followed under that let's just call it a shadow government and who had the authority to maybe leak that information to Mike Lindell.
Yeah, so there's when a very interesting thing happened right after the November 3rd election and right after Biden was announced by the media to take the presidency and so forth. In the days following November 3rd, after Biden was announced as the winner of the election, Trump started stripping people from certain positions in his cabinet, which is very unprecedented.
Why is it so hard to believe that Trump was pissed off that he was going to have to leave the White House and he was just getting rid of people out of spot, people who didn't agree with him, people who openly came out and said, I don't believe that, people who wouldn't side with him, people who he decided wouldn't be a team player? Why is that so hard to fucking believe?
That's not something that an outgoing president does. Here's a guy that's going to be out of office in 60 days, 60-some days, and he's taking members out of key positions in his cabinet, and he's replacing them with other people. So on November 10th, for example, he took out the Secretary of Defense, and he replaced the Secretary of Defense with Chris Miller. That was one of the key appointments. A second appointment was he got rid of his Chief of Staff, and he appointed Kash Patel. For those of you that don't know Kash Patel, you should know Kash Patel. Kash Patel is the reason that Russiagate got exposed. He's the reason for the Durham report, or the Durham investigation, and the upcoming Durham report. Kash Patel is an absolute genius, and he is a kind of like a super spy almost, but he works for us, so that's good news. So Kash Patel was the second appointment, and then the third appointment.
By the way, that's also not true. The youngest person ever at the CIA, that's not true. Whatever. Just making shit up.
Was the Undersecretary of Defense.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. He says that about Ezra.
Undersecretary of Defense. And that position was given to Ezra Cohen Watnick. Now, Ezra Cohen Watnick has always been somewhat of a mystery. He was one of the youngest CIA trainees to ever visit Langley. He was there at a very, very young age. He went to some colleges in Pennsylvania for a while. And then suddenly, again, at a very young age, he ended up in a pretty key position in the NSA under General Michael Flynn. From there, he was appointed to the Undersecretary of Defense. And interestingly enough, for those of you that don't know about classified documents and how documents get classified within our government, there's only 3 people within our government that are able to either classify or declassify a document.
All right, so he rambles for a little bit longer. We've seen his Cyber Symposium video, but I'm fixing to end and go to Patreon, so I want to share you some more stuff going on here. Okay, so he does his thing. He rambles and does the normal thing that he always does, right? But we just heard him a second ago. He said when he opened this interview, he said, I became an Anon in 2017. I was one of the first followers of QAnon, or of Q. I was one of the, and he said it legitimately and then just went on about, talking. So let's skip ahead here.
A pointer a massive misinformation every 6 fake Apple and data that was just as valuable as one. Here's what you got, those and everything. And you know what? We would have probably had a couple. So instead of, of fraud, they commit media like that happened and they all voted that, yeah, our state's good, whatever. The certification votes, unnecessary Republican for the important words, guys, and show you, Facebook. I mean, if you haven't gotten banned from Twitter, Facebook, got people to stay home. This is what a lot of.
I gotta find it. You gotta give me a second.
In order for you to win the pieces of this election, they do not innovate. He has my aspect of the.
And that's basically what we got going on right now.
Yep.
They're in the middle of destroying themselves. Don't interrupt them. Let them continue.
Yep, that's called the art of war, and it was a tactic. What's that?
Did you notice that the news for Comey come out right when we was in South Dakota?
No, what you got to understand, the media is one of their own. Actual opposing resigned earlier during no QAnon. So whenever you see the word QAnon, and then there is Q, which is stream media. There is no such thing as QAnon. In fact, when I went live earlier tonight, I saw that they were evacuating an embassy.
Here we go.
We might have another Benghazi situation on our hands there, so we'll see. And yeah, Biden, of course, is on vacation. And then the third thing they released during the symposium was supposedly this QAnon follower. First of all, there is no such thing as QAnon. That is that's right. There's no QAnon is a term made up by the mainstream media because they don't know what they're talking about.
Okay, got it.
QAnon is a combination of two different entities. There are Anons, which are people like me, and then there is Q, which is the person that has been posting or the group that has been posting to the channel.
Got it.
There is no QAnon. So whenever you see the word QAnon, you are dealing with somebody that has no idea what they're talking about, whether it's the mainstream media, whether it's somebody you follow on social media, whoever it is.
That's the dumbest, by the way, comeback to. I don't know what you're talking about. There's no such thing as QAnon. You know what everybody's fucking calling it, dude.
QAnon is not a thing. The story that they released about QAnon last week during the symposium was
that's like a cop pulling you over and saying, you didn't use your turn signal at that last turn, and you're like, that's actually called a tail lamp indicator bulb. I don't know what a turn signal is. Just make that up.
There's this father who is a very strong supporter of QAnon that killed his children because
this was the guy who shot his kids with a
right in the middle of the symposium.
He just said it was a true story with a harpoon gun. He just said it was a true story.
Now that is the biggest bunch of crap. Yeah, biggest bunch of crap I've heard. First of all,
it was a horrible story.
And you're a follower of Q. One of the whole purposes of Q is to protect our children from this global pedophilia, satanic.
Oh my God.
That is capturing purposes.
So we hear him admit it here.
First of all, if you're an Anon like myself and you're a follower of Q,
By the way, he said in his recent court statement that he wasn't associated with Q or an Anon or a follower of Q. But what's he saying right here?
Because he thought they had reptilian DNA. That was a true story that they put out right in the middle of the symposium. Now, that is the biggest bunch of crap. Yeah, biggest bunch of crap I've heard. First of all, if you're an Anon like myself and you're a follower of Q, one of the whole purposes of Q is to protect our children from this global pedophilia, satanic ring that is capturing them, trafficking them, torturing them, adrenochrome, harvesting their adrenochrome, and
of course, there you go.
Our children right from underneath.
You got them.
That is what Q is all about.
This is obviously when he wasn't worried about his court case, huh?
That's what General Flynn is all about. Talk to kids is fraud. That's worm. Just another case. Let me think about how I want that.
Here we go. Here's the question right here. Let's listen very closely to his question right here, because at the start of the interview, he said, I became an Anon in 2017. I was one of the first followers of Q. He's already forgot that. He's already forgot he fucking said that. Listen here.
Garbage. And that's just another example of how they put up all these false flags to take our eyes off the prize. Look over here. Don't look there. That is what the media has done for decades and decades.
Anon.
And it's going to come to a stop.
Are you one of the original Anons?
Are you one of the original Anons? Now, Phil just said it. I became an Anon in 2017. I was one of the first followers of Q at the start of this interview. So an hour ago, he said it.
And decades, and it has to come to a stop, and it's going to come to a stop.
Are you one of the original Anons?
Let me think about how I want to answer that.
Carefully.
I was alerted by my source that I talked about earlier tonight. I have this one source that I'm very close with, and I have been my
super source
most of my entire life. That
this is all a lie. Phil did not start preaching QAnon shit until after the inauguration when he panicked because he was telling, or right around the inauguration, he was telling people that Joe Biden would never be inaugurated. Trump would be the one that was inaugurated. It was all bullshit. Joe Biden would never be president. This is all bullshit. It wasn't happening. He knew because he was following Q. Then it didn't happen. He panicked. He went full Q-tard.
To watch out for somebody to start posting, and it's going to make a difference in the future of humanity. That's exactly what I was told. And I was told where to look. And that summer, the summer of 2017, I started looking. And lo and behold, in October of 2017, that's when Q started posting.
So he was looking in the summer all the way up until the first Q post. So he had to be one of the very first ones.
So for all, I've joked before, and I think that might have been where you got it, Doug. I joked before about being maybe one of the first Anons, maybe the first Anon, simply because I knew that this was going to start to happen.
You've joked. You've joked before? We're at 116. Let's go back and see if he's joked before.
To put all the truth on the table, I was a lifelong Democrat for many, many years until Hillary ran. Yeah, I know. Until Hillary ran, and then when she ran, that just changed everything for me. Benghazi changed everything for me. I started following Q very early on. I became an Anon back in 2017. I was one of the first followers of Q, actually. And ever since then, I've been...
Is that how jokes work? Actually, let me correct you. I was actually one of the first followers of Q. Is that how jokes work? Maybe I'm doing them wrong. Maybe I'm doing them wrong. He can't even get through a whole interview without contradicting himself.
Truth, just to put all the truth on the table, I was a lifelong Democrat for many, many years until Hillary ran. Yeah, I know. Until Hillary ran, and then when she ran, that just changed everything for me. Benghazi changed everything for me. I started following Q very early on. I became an Anon back in 2017. I was one of the first followers of Q, actually. And ever since then, I've been,
Amazing. So then Doug follows up from that statement because Doug has a memory longer than an hour. And how does Phil respond?
There are literally millions and millions and millions of Anons, not just in the United States, but growing number. So I never try to get too specific. South America Australia has a huge group and millions of Anons, not just in and obviously something happening in a certain greatly first Anon. I've joked before, and I think that might have been where you got it, Doug. And lo and behold, in October of 2017, that's when Q started posting. So for all, I've joked before, and I think that might have been where you got it, Doug. I joked before about being maybe one of the first Anons, maybe the first Anon. Simply because I knew that this was going to start to happen before it even started to happen. Because
okay, that was just all a joke. Actually, I was one of the very first Anons. Actually, then it was a joke, but it gets worse. This was clearly before he cared about his lawsuit.
That I think is
much worse. Hold on, we got one more clip to watch, then we're going to Patreon.
A lot of these look at the. I'll actually post an article at the end of the live tonight on Nasera where it spells out exactly what Nasera. Donald Trump speak. That's all he's talking about. He's not what Nasera will do. Nasera will be on friends throughout the country and throughout the. Asked me this, and as I said before, I've been involved with the Q movement, and I've been following Q, and I have many Anon friends throughout the country and throughout the world. And there's nothing about I said before.
What do you know about Russell Gould, the guy that saved the flag?
Well, I can tell you this. A lot of people have asked me this, and
now in court, he's claiming he has nothing to do with Q, nothing to do with QAnon. He's not a member. He's not a leader. He's not a devout follower. Like, none of those things.
As I said before, I've been involved with the Q movement, and I've been following Q, and I have many Anon friends throughout the country and throughout the world. And there's nothing about Russell that ties into the story. You gotta understand, and I'm not naive, so I don't want to dismiss it and say it's untrue. It could be we are today, but for
he is, and like you said,
it's true, and all that's been in all of these accurate. But I don't know that to be a fact, so I'm never one to doubt it's terrible into anything that I know. So I have a hard time buying into.
Then you look back on where what he's actually saying.
It ties in and it makes sense. It doesn't matter to me.
Earth.
I'll tell you guys.
Exactly how fast is the world spinning?
And do you believe in the flat Earth?
I'll tell you guys what.
Here's his last, a very spectacular lie before he leaves.
I have seen more.
Are you fucking serious, dude?
Than I have the heliocentric model, and.
Hey,
not only
folks, flat Earth is only for smart people.
Well, you really here's the thing. We have been as a human race since the very first thing that we've seen when we walked into elementary school, kindergarten, first grade, preschool even, is a globe and a map, and we're told the Earth is round. And you could recite Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto before fourth grade. You can't do multiplication tables, but you know all the planets in the universe. And then after third or fourth grade, it never becomes a thought anymore. It's so indoctrinated in the back of your brain that you don't think anything else. The Earth is round. There are 9 planets in our solar system. The universe is constantly expanding. We spin at 1,000 miles an hour on our axis. We travel 10,000 miles an hour through the... There's so many outlandish thoughts when you start looking back at those basic theories that we thought about the heliocentric model of Earth and space and the universe and all this stuff. There's so many basic thoughts that we just assume and we just take as you know, actual beliefs because we're told it. But you know what else we were told? We were told Joe Biden won the election. We were told...
Oh, okay.
We were told all these things over...
Got it.
So when you start looking at all the lies that we were recently told, I have to start looking in the flat Earth. And when I look in the flat Earth, I see a reflection of flat Earth on the moon. I see evidence of...
We've disproved that. We've disproved that.
CIA documents that say the CIA tried to blow up, or not the CIA, but the military and the U.S. government, collaborating with other governments around the world, tried to launch nuclear weapons at the firmament to collapse it. It was called Operation Fishbowl. So
no, they didn't.
To prove that there is flat Earth, that evidence against flat Earth. Let me give you the best example of flat Earth. Okay.
Okay. Let's hear it.
This is a baseball. Now I am sitting stationary on my computer chair. Okay. I'm holding the baseball in my hand. Okay. The official theory of Earth says that the Earth spins at 1,000 miles an hour on its axis. 1,000 miles an hour. And that this big ball of Earth is speeding through space at 10,000 miles an hour.
Okay.
Constant rate. And we're rotating around the sun at another 30,000 miles. This is crazy numbers, right? If all of that is true, and I have this baseball in my hand, and I go like this, why isn't this baseball right now in Cleveland?
There you go.
If we're...
Oh, man. Such a good point. It's almost like the atmosphere travels with you. It's almost like if you're in the cab of a car and you're traveling down the interstate at 70 miles an hour and you throw that baseball up, it doesn't go out the back window at 70 miles an hour. Weird.
Spinning at 1,000 miles an hour, and this thing is in the air. The air's not spinning at 1,000 miles. This is now taken off the grounded atmosphere from my chair to the ground. I threw this up in the air. This thing should have moved. If the Earth is spinning, the Earth isn't spinning. And if the Earth isn't spinning, we are complete. Everything else about their heliocentric theory falls apart. Everything. But there's a lot more than just a baseball thrown in the air.
There you go. Check this out. So I fly 1,300 miles from Sioux Falls, South Dakota to Charlotte, North Carolina. We're at 32,000 feet. Geez, in 1,300 miles, we never had to adjust our altitude.
Never.
It's just flat the whole way.
You never have to adjust the altitude.
Oh, because that's how planes work now. You know how planes had to land like this? You had to land on the nose. That's the only way a plane can go down. I don't know if you guys know that.
Dude, the pilots never adjust the nose of the plane to account for the downward angle of the Earth's curvature. They never do that.
Take a level on a plane. That'll prove them wrong.
Oh, there's a lot more. I have a whole series on Rumble that another Anon, Anon, did with me that we kind of collaborated on a little bit in terms of the research. And after you watch that series, I challenge anyone to watch that series by Iwar, and you tell me after coming out of that series that the Earth is round. Anybody. I challenge you to do so. I would welcome.
Tell us your credentials. If you're challenging other people and you're saying this will challenge, tell us you got a big list of credentials here that you can prove or that maybe will come out in court a couple years later as false. Let's see.
I'll do them live with you. You cannot tell me that the Earth is round after you watch that series. There are too many proofs in there. And the biggest one to me is when you look up at the moon, all the land on Earth is reflected in the moon. How is that possible? How could you tell me that
there is no reflection of the land on Earth on the moon? How would we possibly, first of all, reflect it?
Or meteors, an asteroid, whatever the heck hit the moon over the years that the moon has been there is a perfect map of the Earth. How? Impossible. It's just impossible.
It's a mirror. How come the water don't come out of the lakes with all that speed? And
yeah, that's another thing.
Water stays in all the lakes.
Yeah, why don't we just fly? If I jumped in the air right now, why don't I fly into the wall?
If I jump in the air right now, why am I not sucked to the center of the Earth? What kind of question is this?
It's crazy.
I'm gonna do you one better than that.
No, he just stole all Anon or whatever his name is. He stole all of his content, and the guy was actually pissed about it.
$10,000 a piece. So if you find proof that we're...
And until somebody could prove to me otherwise, then no one will ever find that proof. You know why? Because we're not. We are on a flat, stationary plane, and until somebody could...
Again, you can prove the curvature of the Earth yourself.
Me otherwise, I'm open to...
With a couple yardsticks and a sunny day.
I'm not going to sit here and say, no, Earth is flat. You know, I'm setting my theories. That's what the heliocentric people think. But I'm not. I'm very well educated. I have multiple college degrees. I have...
Whoa! Hold your fucking horses. We're going to go to the credentials now. This is what I wanted to show you. By the way, Court records just came out to prove that he has no college degrees. How many? None. How many is multiple? More than none. More than one, actually. None. Unless we're counting the School of Hard Knocks and the University of Subway Sandwiches.
A flat, stationary plane, and until somebody could prove to me otherwise.
It gets worse. This is just the first one. It gets worse. You remember his fucking Mensa certificate? That was just him taking the test, and he never claimed he was a member?
I'm open to it. I'm not going to sit here and say, no, Earth is flat. You know, I'm set in my theories. That's what the heliocentric people think. But I'm not. I'm very well educated. I have multiple college degrees. I'm a member of Mensa. I have a one.
Whoa! When I called you out on your Mensa certificate, when we called to check to see if you're a member of Mensa, when you said you just got that because you took the test and passed it, and I told you that I had taken the test and passed it twice, and they never sent me a thing that said I was a fucking member because I didn't join, you claimed that it's something your mom did. You never said you were a member of Mensa.
That's what the heliocentric people think. But I'm not. I'm very well educated. I have multiple college degrees. I'm a member of Mensa. I have a 148 IQ.
Multiple college degrees. Bullshit. Member of Mensa. He doesn't even claim that anymore. Bullshit. Admitted in court. 148 IQ. Bullshit.
I'm not somebody that's going to dismiss anybody's theories, but I am going to do the research myself. I'm going to look at stuff.
You mean like when you say, oh, Jordan Sather? I wouldn't even listen to that guy. Oh, Chip now doesn't believe exactly how I believe. I wouldn't listen to that guy. Oh, Derek Johnson doesn't like me sharing all his shit because I'm a millionaire on the backs of my followers. I wouldn't even listen to that guy.
I'm gonna try to find, alternate theories that make sense because
this motherfucker again says multiple college degrees, admitted in court that was a lie. Member of Mensa, admitted in court that he said in court he's never claimed that, and he's not a member of Mensa. He had 0 college degrees to produce. Even that one hanging on his fucking wall suddenly was off limits because it doesn't exist. Every college was called. None of them have any admission records of him even trying to go there.
All I know is we have been lied to for many, many years. I'm sick of being lied
But also, Ezra Cohen-Watnick was his roommate in college.
to, and I'll be damned if
that he never went to.
My young kids are going to grow up in an environment where they're lied to and they're indoctrinated and they're forced to.
The best thing for those kids to happen is for you to fall off the face of the earth.
Certain thing or believe a certain theory. I'm just not going to allow that to happen. And if it means me getting in front of 10.
Yeah, remember when he said he went I was pre-med.
Or hundreds of people
I was pre-med. I had to use a scalpel to serrate a tomato and place it upon Italian herbs and cheese.
Spread the truth. And if it means me getting fired from my job and losing my family.
This is before he started claiming he was Snowden.
Getting
well, that's going to happen. You're going to lose your job and your family. I don't know if we're predicting this or not. Are you a fucking psychic?
Are going to grow up in an environment where they're lied to and they're indoctrinated and they're forced to do a certain thing or believe a certain theory. I'm just not going to allow.
I bifurcated a very thick wedge of cucumber.
That to happen. And if it means me getting in front of tens or hundreds of thousands of people to spread the truth, and if it means me getting fired from my job and
check,
losing my family,
check,
and getting terrible publicity, fine.
Check, checkity check.
And so be it. I'm going to do whatever I could to make sure that
and so be it
in a safe world and a righteous world, and I'm not going to stop until that happens.
And so be it.
Because it's been about an hour and 45 minutes. Phil, we want to thank you for.
Guys, I'm doing a Patreon show. If you want to join me, we got more Phil content. We've got other things to talk about. We're going to see what the patrons want to talk about tonight. $2 and up because it's a makeup show because I'm so far behind, so I'm letting everybody in. You can join at patreon.com/coldbeer. Support the show while we're offline. I'll still try to recap the messages. If you send any in, do it at coldbeer.fund. Keep the show free 7 days a week. Join our Patreon again at patreon.com/coldbeer. Get some extra content tonight if you're interested. I just feel like I'm just getting warmed up. So we'll take all this energy over to Patreon. Come join us. You can click on it at coldbeer.fund, coldbeer.fund. You can just click the big orange P right here to join Patreon, or you can go directly to patreon.com/coldbeer, patreon.com/coldbeer. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for the donations. Thank you for the support. Thanks for hanging out with me. We got some donations. No, I don't think we got any donations. Thank you for the support. Thank you for hanging out with me. Thank you for just being here. If we didn't get any donations, I appreciate it. We'll see everybody tomorrow for another free show. Patrons, Twitch subscribers, if you're on Twitch, stay where you're at for about 5 minutes. When someone tells you to refresh. Patrons, you'll get an email, and it'll also be posted on my Patreon page. So if you sign up for Patreon, all you do is go back to patreon.com/coldbeer and look at my post, and it'll be the most recent post. It'll be dated today. Thank you, guys. Everybody have a good night, and we'll see you on the next one. I'm going to grab a drink while the outro plays. See you, Nick. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. I'll see y'all on Patreon in just a little bit. Have a good one.